Good morning, students. As you know, today I am going to explain you about the fruits. Fruits. Dear children, when I said a word fruits, what do you all are thinking? You all are thinking about apple, bananas, grapes, lemon, orange and strawberries. Dear children, in normal language, we can say the fleshy seed associated structure of a plant that is sweet or sour and eatable in raw state. But in biology, a fruit is the seed-bearing structure of flowering plant formed from the ovary after flowering or fertilization. Means fruit is a ripened ovary of a flower. Structure of a fruit. A fruit consists of two parts, the pericarp and the seed. This is seed and this is the pericarp. A seed develops from the ovules and pericarp develops from the ovary wall. Some fruits having thick and fleshy ovary and some are thin and dry. Pericarp are divided into three layers, endocarp, mesocarp and exocarp. Epicarp or exocarp is generally discarded. This is the peel of the fruit which we have taken out. Mesocarp is the fleshy parts which we eat and endocarp is the inner layer which protects the seed. By seeing the structure of a fruits are divided into two types, dry fruits and fleshy fruits. Dry fruits. By the name only you can understand that dry fruit is fruits from which the majority of original water content has been removed either naturally or artificially. The fruit whose pericarps is not distinguished into three layers. Means pericarp is not divided into three layers are known as dry fruits. For example, nut, wheat and sunflower. Fleshy fruits, whose pericarp is distinguished into epicarp, mesocarp and endocarps. For example, berry, kiwi, raspberry, cherry are known as fleshy fruits. Fruits produce plentiful flesh and are highly desirable as eatable produce for both humans and other species. Other species means other animals. The main function of fruit is the important source of food for animals, and its another or primary function is to distribute seeds to new areas where the plant might grow. So we can say that fruit is a seed dispersal vehicle. Now we learn about seed. All fruits have seeds, you all know. And you have learned right now that after fertilization and ovules develop into a seed. In smaller classes you have already learned about fruits having one seed, few seeds and more seeds. The number, shape of seeds are varying in different fruits, but the structure of the seed is remain same in all the fruits. Structure of a seed. We can see in the diagram, the seed consists of three components: embryo, endosperm that is cotyledon and seed coat. This is the seed cover, where the seed coat develops from the maternal ovular tissue. Embryo. A seed is considered as a mature ovule which contains tiny plants known as embryo. Cotyledons or endosperms, these are the fleshy part of the seeds. These store food for the embryo inside the seeds. A seed has an outer protective covering called a seed coat. According to the number of cotyledons, seeds are divided into two types, dicotyledon and monocotyledons. Monocotyledons means one cotyledon seed contains one cotyledon. Dicotyledon means seed contains two cotyledons. Germination is the process by which an organism grows from a seed or a similar structure. Children, do you have seen sprout of grams? That is the most common example of seed germination. Seed germinates under right conditions. What are right conditions? Presence of air, light, warmth and optimum amount of water. For the definition, the seed grow into new plants under the right conditions. This process of growing of a seed into a seedling is called germination. There are two types of germination, apigeal germination and hypogeal germination. Apigeal germination. In this type of germination, germination of plants take place above the ground. The hypocotyles elongates rapidly and arches upward, pulling the cotyledons which moves above the soil. It is mainly seen in the dicotyledon seed. Dicotyledon seed means seeds having two cotyledons. When the seed coat bursts, this is the seed coat, when it is burst, the radicle come out. This is the radicle comes out and start growing downwards and forming a root. The cotyledons move up out of the soil and form seed leaves. After some time, these seed leaves falls. The plumule, which is inside the cotyledons, grow into a green leaves. This type of germination mainly seen in bean, cotton, papaya, gourd, castor and onion. The second type of germination is hypogeal germination. In this type of germination, germination of plants take place below the ground. The epicotyle elongates upward and cotyledon remain in the soil and provide food to growing seed. After giving food to seeds, they shrivel off. Shrivel off means become dry. Later, plumules develop into true leaves. This type of germination mainly seen in maize and gram and rice also. Now we learn about the germination of bean seed. Germination of bean seed is an apigeal germination. Under suitable conditions, bean absorb water from the surrounding and swell up. The seed coat ruptured and the embryo merge out. The radicals grow downwards into the soil and forms root. The hypocotyles grow and become straight along with the cotyledon above the soil. Cotyledons forms green leaves which makes food for the growing seedling. Germination of maize seed. It is done by hypogeal germination. The maize grain absorbs water and swell up. The radicle presses through the protective sheets and grow downwards to form the root. The plumules presses through the protective sheets and grow straight to form the shoot system. The cotyledon remain underground the soil. Some conditions are necessary for seed germination. Suitable temperature. Most flowering plants germinate best in cool weather, and they germinate best at temperature that range 25 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius. Colder temperature decay germination and causes seeds decay also. Second, water. In addition to heat, flowering plants need moisture to germinate. Food can be utilized in liquid form only and seed can utilize only dissolved oxygen. Thus, water is necessary for seed germination. While those who receive too much water become waterlogged and start to decay. Third, air. The seed respiratory rate is very low, and so oxygen is required in a small quantity. But for germination, oxygen is needed for large quantity. Fourth and the last one is sunlight. Some seeds need light for germination while some hindered by light. Dear children, your lesson is over now. I am giving you very short question answer. You have to do it in your fair copy. Already I have given you question number 1 and 2 in previous video. Now I am start from question 3. Name 1 monocotyledonous seed and dicotyledonous seed. I have given two examples for each. Rice and maize for monocotyledonous seeds and mango and pea for dicotyledonous seed. Question number 4. From which part does a root germinate in a germinating seed? Radicle is a part from where a root germinates in a germinating seed. Question number 5. Name the two types of germination. The two types of germination are apigeal and hypogeal germination. Question number 6. Name the seeds in which food is stored in endosperm. Answer. Maize is the seed in which food is stored in endosperm. Thank you, students.